All right, y'all, I went ahead and bought this soft top. We're gonna put the soft top on the Bronco now that we got it painted. This is gonna be a tan soft top from the company Rampage. It was the cheapest soft top I could find. Fits year models 80 to 91. We should have all the pieces and parts we need to make this work. So let me get this hard top off of here. All right, y'all, so I just tore this box open. We got our hardware, bolts and clips and things. Got our instructions and all the framing. There's some small pieces of foam. And then over here we've got our fabric. It looks like it comes with like some little baggies. Not 100% on what those are used for. Maybe if you zip out the windows, you put them in the baggies. I don't know. And then we got one piece of weather stripping. And then this is the majority of the top, I'm imagining. Looks like we got the windows maybe tucked in over here. So this is the color of the, what they call diamond spice. So it's not just a straight tan. It's kind of like a brown with some darker brown specks in it, but it should look good on the truck. It's not going to match the seats quite like I was hoping, but because here's what the seat looks like, and I've got the front seats to match this one. I just got to install them, but should be close enough. So first thing I've done is I've removed this locating stud. It just unscrews. It's got threads on it. And then I went around to where the body clips, threads, whatever you call them, these things, well, actually not those things, these things, where those should be, but my factory ones are mostly missing. But the kit comes with some new ones. So I've gone around because somebody in the past has been tugging up on this or something. I don't know if they were having a hard time messing with that hard top. That's why the hard top that I just removed off this thing was broken. I don't know, but I've gone and beat these down flush. They were raised up and I was not wanting that to be a thing. This one might still be a little raised up. I won't have to compare it to the other side. But that's what I'm working on now. I watched a YouTube video that said that the new hardware is a little bit different than the old, and this is the new one, and it's supposed to go in here like this and clip in, but if you can see, this clip won't go down flat because the hole's not big enough to for that circular piece of metal to go down. So what you have to do is actually drill out these holes a little bit bigger. So that's one of my next steps. And then this is the threads that the locating stud came out of. I'm gonna have to beat that down so that it's past flush or flush, so that the rail that I put on there, which is a flat piece of steel, can sit flat and not have any waviness to it. So anyway, I gotta beat up my truck with a hammer. All right, so I want to show you guys something. It's important that you actually get these things clicked into place. I've already got these clicked into place, but yeah, so I'm gonna undo this one. So if it's just sitting there, it's not flush. It's actually sitting on a piece of metal there, and it's not gonna want to go flush. This one's a bad example because I actually drilled this hole a little bit larger. You got to make sure that this part of the clip is actually going underneath the sheet metal. I hope this camera can focus and y'all can see what I'm talking about, but anyway, if you're having issues, that's what you need to do. Let's use a flat blade screwdriver to kind of poke it. So I got 6 of these clips in. I was just noticing, I wonder if I can zoom on this camera. I don't think so. I'm gonna have to get up there. There's a little bit of some body damage up there on that center top on the cab, so I'm hoping that's not going to be a huge issue, but we'll just have to get into it and see. Alright guys, so I apologize, I stopped recording while I was putting this thing together. Also, it's very windy today, so hopefully y'all can hear me. I got this thing on here. It took longer than I thought it was going to, just mostly me trying to understand the instructions. But overall, I'm happy with it. I think it looks good. What do y'all think? Comment down below what you think about the fitment of it. There were some things that I could have done better. There's a lot of being careful when you're measuring and drilling the bracket that goes along the cab up there. But fitment's fine in my opinion. This is just kind of a beater Bronco. So what I would recommend doing, so I want to preface this by saying I did this in January. It's January right now, so it was cold, and they say in the directions, the first thing in the directions, it needs to be at least 72 degrees outside when you're putting this thing together. So I didn't want to wait for warmer temperature. I went ahead and put it together, but some things you have to do is put it on the loosest tension setting. Well, anyway, I'll start from the beginning. So when you're putting this thing together, you start with these side pieces, and you don't bolt anything down snug. You don't snug everything up until you're about ready to put the material on it, the soft top itself. You get these side pieces mounted up, or mocked up I should say. Then you got to put this tailgate piece on here, and the tailgate piece is held on with this little thumb screw, and this nut right here is really just a spacer. And so that'll give you your make sure that, you know, if you have those splayed out too much, then this thing won't go and fit correctly. This is designed so that it's not a hassle to remove this horizontal piece here that goes above the tailgate, so that if you had bulky luggage you needed to get in and out, you could. So you got to keep that in mind. So without anything screwed down, or tight I should say, the next step is, oh yeah, and you have this on here, is to drill and screw this right here. And this is a piece of hardware that the kit came with, I believe. And there's a little plastic bushing that goes up under there. I had actually drilled this before I put this horizontal piece on here, and I had to or actually I think I wallered out I had to make it work. I had to re-drill something. Yeah, here it is. I had to oblong this hole to make it work because I did it out of order. But if you have this piece on here before you drill those two, then you're good to go. The next hassle, or I guess big hurdle, was getting up on the cab and mounting that stuff. If you read the instructions, it's very clear on, I mean, I say clear, once you kind of read it about 10 times, it becomes clear what they're saying. It's a little bit confusing why they say to have the corners up here sticking out past the cab, and then they say to have it like inset from the cab a 1/4 inch down here. At first I was like, well, why don't we just have it consistent? But then you try to put both of these pieces of hardware up here, and then they butt out and they stick out too far and everything. So there's a reason it says that, and you should follow the instructions. By the time I got to that part and things weren't fitting, I was getting a little, it was dark and cold, and I was getting a little haphazard with it, so I just kind of put the measuring stick away and moved it out a little bit. The problem I was having when I was trying to put the material on is the top was too far down, and I couldn't get the material to fold over into it, if that makes sense. That plastic strip that tucks in this way, I couldn't get it because the cab was in the way. So I had to raise that up a little bit. And then I feel like the rest of it was pretty simple. You've got your bows. You look at your diagrams and pictures, you can tell which one's the front, which one's the back. You've got that little one with the nook on it is going to be your front one. And then the adjustment for the tension on the top is where you mount. You see these 3 holes, and one's got a bolt through it. The further out you go, the more tension you're going to get. So I have it on the loosest setting right now. I might tighten it up in the summertime, we'll see. But anyway, I don't know how much you want me to talk about the actual installation of this thing. Oh, and it came with bags and things. But do I recommend it? Yeah. I mean, this was the cheapest soft top I could find for this Bronco, and I feel like I got my money's worth. Haven't gone down the road with it just yet, but I don't see any reason why that would be an issue. I need to make sure this is tucked in good though. But anyway, I think it really helps the truck. I mean, I just put the paint job on it, the Rust-Oleum paint job, and now it actually looks like something. I've still got to finish the brakes on the truck and put an alternator in it. But y'all, listen to how easy this thing cranks up, how well it starts. I mean, it's just a smooth running engine, has good throttle response. The exhaust is rotten off of it, and I can smell it, but it's not really all that loud. I just got that 4-barrel conversion on it, and it's got an Edelbrock 1406 on it. That's just a smooth running engine. Got the HEI distributor on there to bypass all of the computer timing stuff. So also got a fuel return line, so we don't have any vapor lock issues. Just a happy little motor. Alright y'all, if y'all found this video helpful at all, I'd appreciate you hit the like button, leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Alright, y'all have a blessed one.